As you all know, the NFL free agency is probably about a month away, maybe a little bit less. I don't know the exact date, but it is around mid to late March, so it's around the corner. And you guys have been asking me for a free agency video, and I've been kind of pushing it to the side because there's been some other videos I kind of wanted to get out first, and then, some things started happening too, like O'Brien being named GM, the whole Darius Slay thing, the video from earlier this week. So I kept pushing it back. Now, here we are. But before we get into these free agents that I think the Texans should target, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Oh, and also click the little notification bell so whenever I drop a video, you get a notification for it. So, anyways, before we talk about the free agents that I think the Texans should go after, here's 3 guys that I think the Texans should absolutely avoid at all costs. 2 of them aren't free agents, one of them is. Le'Veon Bell. Everyone tells me, Sticky, let's get Le'Veon Bell. Let's go get Le'Veon Bell. Let's trade for Le'Veon Bell. Would it be smart to get Le'Veon Bell? No. It would be extremely dumb to get Le'Veon Bell. One, Le'Veon Bell hasn't been good for 2 years. Remember, this year he sucked with the Jets. And then the year before that, he held out the whole year with the Steelers. So, Le'Veon Bell hasn't been good in 2 years. I'm not saying he's washed. I'm saying he's potentially washed. And for $12 million a year, I am not paying a running back that much. Sorry. I just do not believe in paying a running back that much unless you're a perfect scheme fit. And I'm sorry, Le'Veon Bell is a little bit older, has injury history, might be a little washed, too expensive, would not be smart. Next guy, David Johnson. No. He's always hurt. He's not good anymore. He had like 1 or 2 good years. He was like the top fantasy football running back. But other than that, he hasn't been anything since then. The dude is washed. He's broken. No. And the next guy. This is a free agent, by the way. Eric Ebron. No. Do not get Eric Ebron. The dude is a scrub. He has never been anything his whole career. He's only had 1 good year with Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck made him. And now, I know what you guys are going to say. Well, if Andrew Luck made Eric Ebron, then can't Watson make Eric Ebron? Yes, he absolutely could, because Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson. He's amazing and he's beautiful and all these things. But if I'm going to pay a guy top tier money, he better be good on his own. Eric Ebron, he needs Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson to be good. He does not deserve big money. Not only that, if we get Eric Ebron, what happens to our drafted tight ends? Kahali Waring, Jordan Akins, Jordan Thomas. You're telling us we wasted draft picks for nothing? No, you just cannot get Eric Ebron. Not only that, Eric Ebron has a case of the dropsies. I know you guys hated Will Fuller when he had all those drops against the Chiefs in Week 6. Well, you're probably going to hate Eric Ebron too, because he has a big case of the dropsies. And not only that, Eric Ebron cannot block. If you're going to pay a number 1 tight end, big tight end money, he better be able to block. And Eric Ebron cannot block. So avoid Eric Ebron, Le'Veon Bell, and David Johnson at all costs. Now there's someone else I want to talk about that I think the Texans should absolutely get. And that is A.J. Bouye. Now, I'm not really counting A.J. Bouye on the list because technically A.J. Bouye isn't a free agent yet, but it's been known that Bouye is going to get cut here eventually. So he is going to be a free agent, but he's not a free agent right now. So, yeah. But I think the Texans should definitely get A.J. Bouye. Definitely. Why? It's just the smart thing to do. In my opinion, the smart thing to do would be let Roby walk and get Boye. Even though Boye is slightly older than Roby, I think Boye is better than Roby. I just think he's a better player. Even though he had a down year in Jacksonville, Boye had a good 2018. He had a good 2017. Obviously, he had that good 2016 season with us. I don't think Boye's washed. I just think he was fed up with Jacksonville, like Jalen Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue, a lot of those players, they were fed up with Jacksonville, so they just quit on the team. Now, if Boye comes back here, he's going to be on a playoff contender. I won't say a Super Bowl contender, but definitely a playoff contender, so he'll definitely be inspired to play. You know, he's played here before, and I know some people are going to say, why would Boye come back to Houston? He probably feels disrespected. Wrong. Rick Smith is no longer here in Houston. If Boye were to have a problem with anyone in this organization, it would be Rick Smith, because if I recall, and I'm pretty sure you guys remember too, apparently Rick Smith told AJ Boye, you're our fourth best corner, and then AJ Boye dipped. So, now that Rick Smith is gone, the doors are open for AJ Boye to come back, and I think it's genius to get AJ Boye because of our picks. Now, so you guys know, we traded a bunch of picks for Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills. And next year in 2021, we don't have a first round pick or a second round pick. So, you know, the draft in 2021 isn't looking too pretty, but if the Texans were to let Roby walk, and, you know, Roby's going to get a big contract, 13, 14 mil a year, and then the Texans were to sign AJ Boye, well, guess what? The Texans get a third round pick for losing Roby. So, AJ Boye, once he becomes available, I 100% want the Texans to target him. Now, on to the actual free agents that I think the Texans should target. And I'm not saying the Texans should get every single one of these guys, because that is impossible and unrealistic. But these are guys that I think the Texans should definitely target. And this is just wave one. These are the big name guys. I'll come back with another video later on, you know, maybe next week or the week after that, of wave 2 players. So if I didn't, you know, mention a guy that you guys think we should target, then there's a good chance I might mention him in the next video. Alright, so one guy I think the Texans should target is Chris Jones, defensive lineman from the Chiefs. You guys know this guy, you know, one of the best players available in free agency. I don't think the Chiefs are going to keep him because I don't think they have the cap space for him. And they can definitely create cap space, but I don't think they'll keep him. So Chris Jones is definitely someone the Texans should inquire about. He's what we need. You know, DJ Reader's all fine and dandy, but DJ Reader is a 2-down run stopping player. We need someone who can play all 3 downs. Most importantly, someone who can push the pocket, rush the quarterback from the inside, and disrupt everything and make life difficult for those quarterbacks. Last year, you know, we didn't have that. We didn't have a guy on the inside, a monster on the inside. We just didn't. You know, when you think of Chris Jones, think of guys like Grady Jarrett, you know, Aaron Donald. Obviously, Aaron Donald's on another level, but, you know, Chris Jones is the closest you're going to get to Aaron Donald. And I think the Texans could really benefit from having someone like Chris Jones on the inside, pushing the pocket, sacking the quarterback, you know, forcing the quarterback to throw the ball quicker, flushing the quarterback out, and making life easy for Whitney Merciless, Jacob Martin, and J.J. Watt, you know? So, I think Chris Jones, you know, even though it's unrealistic, I do think it would be smart for the Texans to target him. Now, Chris Jones, he's going to want big money, man. Like 18 mil a year, 19 mil, maybe even 20 mil. He's that good. That's why I'm not sure if we can afford him. So, next guy, Byron Jones, corner from the Cowboys. Now, Byron Jones, I think, is very, very good. There's only one issue with Byron Jones, in my opinion. And a lot of you guys will probably not like Byron Jones because of this. Because a lot of people seem to think that interceptions are the only thing that matters when it comes to DBs. And when it comes to Byron Jones, he doesn't get interceptions. But in my opinion, Byron Jones is like a perfect corner. He plays man. He can play zone. He can even play safety. And he's shut down. He's a shutdown corner. He's fast, he's big, and he can jump really high. So, yeah, he can jump up and knock the ball out of the air, like if he's kind of beat for a bit. And he could probably even match up against tight ends because he is a big guy. So I think Byron Jones would be a good fit here. The only problem is, reportedly, Byron Jones wants $18 million a year. I'm sorry, man. Byron Jones, I think you'd be a good fit, but you're not $18 million a year good. Maybe Marlon Humphrey, Jalen Ramsey. Maybe those guys can get that money, but Byron Jones, I don't think so, buddy. So next guy, Brandon Sheriff, right guard from the Redskins. As you guys know, Zach Fulton is our weak link on our O-line. Probably the only weak link on the offensive line. So it's kind of logical for the Texans to get an upgrade over Zach Fulton. If you cut Zach Fulton, you save $7 million in cap. And Brandon Sheriff, dude's a monster, man. He is an excellent pass blocker, most importantly. But second of all, he's also a monster in the run game. He gets to the second level with ease, and he just devours guys, dude. Like, he is a really, really good right guard. Now, here's the issue. Can the Texans afford to, invest that much on the offensive line? Think about it. 2 first-round picks and probably like $18 million on Laramie Tunsil. A second-round pick on Max Sharping. A second-round pick on Nick Martin. A first-round pick on Titus Howard. And then on Brandon Sheriff, you'd probably be looking at $15 million a year. I do think we need to upgrade over Zach Fulton. But in my opinion, getting Brandon Sheriff would be more like a luxury over a need. I think we have bigger needs, but if we got him, I wouldn't be pissed because, God, man, our offensive line with Sheriff in there would be amazing. But moving on. Next guy. You guys know Yannick Ngakoue, edge rusher for the Jaguars. You guys know who he is. we play him twice a year. The dude's good. He's very, very good, and I feel like he'd really help this team. Because Lord knows, Whitney Merciless is the definition of average. And then, of course, we'd be stealing a player from our divisional rival. And then he'd go over there, revenge game, and get 42 sacks in one game. And then get 38 in the next game against the Jaguars. So that'd be amazing. And, yeah, like I say, we need pass rush. Pass rush is our biggest need this offseason, in my opinion. A good pass rush masks a bad secondary. I think our secondary is could be better, obviously, but a good pass rush could make our secondary look way better. And Yannick Ngakoue would instantly make our pass rush better. Maybe throw Watt inside. I don't know if he wants to play there. And have Watt on the inside with Yannick Ngakoue and Whitney Merciless coming from the edge while Jacob Martin subs in and out of the lineup. I'm just saying, Yannick Ngakoue would be a good fit here. Next guy. This is a guy I think the Texans should absolutely target. I think this guy is like a perfect fit for the Texans. And this is the reason why I want to let DJ Reader walk, to get this guy. And that is Arik Armstead, defensive lineman from the 49ers. Former first-round pick. He can play inside, he can play outside. He's a good run stopper and a dominant pass rusher. The dude is so disruptive. So disruptive. And I feel like letting Reader walk and getting a guy like Arik Armstead is going to elevate our team to the next level. Arik Armstead, like I said, inside, he's disruptive. He can push the pocket. He can stop the run. And that's what we need. We need someone like that on the inside. Not only that, he can play outside. He can also play edge rusher. This is two birds, one stone. You're getting a guy who can, be disruptive on the inside, but also a guy who can rush the passer from the edge. So if J.J. Watt, knock on wood, gets hurt, Arik Armstead is there. You can move him around anywhere. J.J. Watt can be right there too. You can move J.J. Watt and Arik Armstead everywhere. They'd be feasting on quarterbacks. Life for Whitney Merciless would be so easy. Now, Arik Armstead, I think he'd be a little bit more expensive than DJ Reader, probably like by $2 million, because reportedly DJ Reader wants 14 to 15 mil. I'm not paying him that. Arik Armstead, I'd give him 14 to 15 mil. I'd give him 16 to 17 mil. Hell, I might even give him 18 mil. But yeah, I think Arik Armstead is the perfect fit for the Texans. And if there's one free agent that the Texans sign, I hope it's Arik Armstead. I think he fits perfectly on this defense. Stop the run, like I said. He can rush the passer. He can play outside, inside. He is perfect. And I think the Texans should definitely target him. Next guy. Another guy who I think the Texans should absolutely target, Derrick Henry. Yeah, Tennessee, we're going to steal your running back. Now, I'm not sure if Henry's going to be a free agent, but if he is, there is no excuse why the Texans should not target Derrick Henry. Earlier in the video, when I was talking about Le'Veon Bell, I said I wouldn't pay big money for a running back unless he's a perfect fit. Derrick Henry, he's a perfect fit. Bill O'Brien, you guys know, he loves to run the ball down the middle on first down. Usually that's a 2-yard gain, 1-yard gain, sometimes no gain. With Derrick Henry, that turns to a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, maybe even longer. We need Derrick Henry. If the Texans had Derrick Henry, my God, literally, we'd have the best quarterback, wide receiver, running back trio in the NFL, and it wouldn't even be close. There would be no stopping Derrick Henry. And if you somehow manage to stop Derrick Henry, guess what? Deshaun's going to tear you up through the air, because now you're focusing on Derrick Henry. And guess what? If you're focusing on DeAndre Hopkins and the other weapons we have, then Derrick Henry's going to destroy those 7-man boxes with ease. If the Texans get Derrick Henry, we can potentially win a Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson and Derrick Henry would carry Bill O'Brien to a Super Bowl. Next guy. Another guy I would definitely target is Robbie Anderson, wide receiver from the Jets. This is a speedy guy. Now, Will Fuller, it sucks. I like him, but he's always hurt. Now, Robbie Anderson, he's no Will Fuller. Will Fuller's a way better route runner, but Robbie Anderson does a better job at staying healthy. And like I always say, best ability is availability. Fuller, unfortunately, is never available. Anderson would be available, so Robbie Anderson could potentially be a Will Fuller replacement. I'm not saying a Will Fuller backup, no. If we're going to get Anderson, he has to be a Fuller replacement. Because look at it this way. We're paying D-Hop 15 mil. We're paying Fuller 10 mil. We're paying Kenny Still 7 mil. That right there, that's about 32 mil on wide receivers. Anderson, he's probably going to get somewhere from 10 to 12 mil. I am not paying 40 mil plus for 4 wide receivers. It's just not going to happen. So if the Texans do get Anderson, you got to cut Fuller. So that's a tough decision in my opinion, because, what if you cut Fuller and then you can't get Anderson, then you're screwed, So what do? It's, like I said, a tough decision, but I would be happy if the Texans targeted Anderson. Next guy. Okay, at first, I wasn't too, high on this guy, but after I started thinking about it more, I was like, you know what, this guy makes sense, so let's go get this guy, and I'm talking about Chris Harris. Now, the reason why I was saying no to Chris Harris at first, it's Cause he's bald. I mean, just look at him. Nah, but seriously, I didn't want him at first because he's older. You know, he's over the age of 30. So definitely not a fan of that. But then I started to think. The Texans invested a second round pick on Lonnie Johnson. Now, personally, I'm not too high on Lonnie Johnson. Yes, I understand he's young, he could get better. But I'm not too high on Lonnie Johnson. But the Texans spent a second round pick on him. So obviously, they're high on Lonnie Johnson. Now, here's where Chris Harris comes in. Back in 2013, 2014, and a little bit of 2015, before Aqib Talib left the Broncos had Chris Harris and Aqib Talib play outside while a young corner, Robbie, sat on the bench. And on nickel situations, Chris Harris would slide inside to play slot corner while Robbie would play the number 2 spot. So now, thinking about that, Garyon Conley is your 1. Chris Harris is your 2. Lonnie Johnson sits on the bench. And then on nickel situations, Chris Harris slides into the slot and Lonnie Johnson plays the 2 spot. The Texans, if they're high on Lonnie Johnson, that is the only way I think it could work. Because personally, I do not want Lonnie Johnson playing 95+% of the snaps. I don't. I just do not trust him yet. Maybe he improves next year, but I don't trust him just yet. I would feel way more comfortable if they brought in Chris Harris. Like Arik Armstead, I feel like Chris Harris is 2 birds, 1 stone. You get your slot corner and you get an outside corner. You could even say he helps out Lonnie Johnson developing because Lonnie Johnson doesn't get thrown into the fire. Next guy, Melvin Gordon. Now, Melvin Gordon, I wouldn't go anything higher than 7.5 mil. I think he's a huge upgrade over Carlos Hyde, but he's no Derrick Henry, and I do think we need another running back, and I feel like a duo of Melvin Gordon and Duke Johnson would be very, very good. I mean, you guys know Melvin Gordon. He plays for the Chargers. Well, technically played, I guess, because he is going to be a free agent. So, yeah, I think he'd be good down here in Houston. Next guy, Shaquille Barrett from the Buccaneers. Now, here's the tough part, man. Here's the tough part, the iffy part. He had 1 good year. Is he a 1-year wonder? I mean, I think he's definitely worth to look at, but I also think it's unrealistic to get him because I did hear that the Buccaneers are really, really, really trying to keep him. And the last guy, Jevon Hargrave, defensive lineman from the Steelers. This is basically another nose tackle, but someone, in my opinion, who's better than DJ Reader. Now, why do I say he's better than DJ Reader? He's a better pass rusher. He might not be as dominant as a run stopper. I mean, don't get me wrong, he can definitely stop the run, but he is a better pass rusher than DJ Reader. He played less snaps than DJ Reader and had more pressures than DJ Reader. And it's like I said about, Chris Jones, Arik Armstead. We need a guy on the inside who can pressure the quarterback. Now, Jevon Hargrave might be a little bit under the radar guy. He might have made my wave 2 free agents, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be after this guy just because the sole reason that he can rush the passer from the inside. Now, I know if you look at his numbers, you're going to see like 4 sacks and then 6 sacks the year before. It's a whole clowny conversation. It's not all about sacks. And when it comes to an interior defensive lineman, it is definitely not all about sacks. It's more about pressures. How much pressure can they get on the quarterback? And Jevon Hargrave, he can get way more pressure on the quarterback than DJ Reader. I'm sorry, man. I love DJ Reader. I've said it before many, many times. And, it hurts to let him walk, but I think it's a smart move. You got to get someone on the inside who can rush the passer as well. DJ Reader, he wants 14 to 15 mil, apparently. That money, that's, Grady Jarrett money, Chris Jones money, Arik Armstead money. DJ Reader plays 60% of the snaps. DJ Reader is a 2-down player. You do not pay 14, 15 mil for a 2-down player. I'm sorry. I mean, I just had to say it because there's a lot of Texans fans that want DJ Reader to stay. I don't. I'm sorry. I would rather get Arik Armstead. That's why I think Arik Armstead should be our number one priority this offseason. I think that should be the guy that we should definitely target. And, maybe get Arik Armstead and AJ Boye. Let Reader and Roby walk. Get Armstead and Boye. And your defense would be astronomically better next season than it was this year. And that's really how I feel. So comment down below if you guys think I missed anyone who the Texans should target. Keep in mind, this is just wave 1 of free agency. I'm going to have another video of wave 2, smaller name players. And, a guy you might mention might be on that list. Or maybe I just forgot that guy, then maybe I'll add him to the next list. So, yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, like I said at the start of the video. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.